Is this thing on? It is. All right. Welcome back to the Shoot DaRock Talking Ball podcast. And once again, we're doing another college basketball preview video. This time, like I said, we're going to do this every Tuesday and Friday is my goal to have this come out. So Tuesdays will preview the big games from the week. Friday, big games from the weekend. And man, do we have a loaded slate here on Tuesday. A lot of, good rivalry games. A lot of these games, too, big thing that I'm a fan of is they're all on campus. And then we have a couple games Wednesday and Thursday that are pretty big as well. So I'm going to get into them, give my previews and predictions. So drop your picks or what games you'll be watching down here in the comments. And while you're down there, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, and let's get into it. All right, to start here, we're going to talk about some of these games I previewed last week. First one, North Carolina with an 87-74 win on Friday night against Kansas. Granted, I picked the Tar Heels in this one, but it ended up being a lot bigger of a blowout than I thought it was going to be. Seth Trimble suffered an injury in this one, but did a good job slowing down Darren Peterson enough. Granted, he still had 22 points to the Jayhawks. But really who showed out, Caleb Wilson, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. There was a lot of talk. He was saying that in the McDonald's All-American game, he was mad he didn't get the ball, and Darren Peterson was on his team, so he used that as kind of motivation in this one. Had a really big game. Henry Vasar also really impressed with 20 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and a block. He really held it down in the middle, which I kind of said North Carolina needed him to do if they were going to pick up this win. So good win for Carolina. They're looking... Darren Peterson was kind of the talk of the town. Him, DeBansta, I can never say his name, and Cam Boozer. But it kind of ended up being Caleb Wilson, Koa Pete, and then Nico Zavdalis, who had 33 points in Vatex win as well on Saturday. We'll get some of these Saturday games here in a sec. That were kind of the freshmen that took over the headlines this week. Then moving on to Saturday, Alabama went into the Garden, took down St. John's 103-96. Aiden Holloway had 21 points that one. LeBaron Philon had 25. Alabama was up big. You see it 9 points at halftime. St. John's came back, took the lead late in the second half as well. But Alabama just kind of always seemed to have an answer for the Red Storm. They're able to match them, play at their place. Aiden Sherrill had a good game as well, 9 points. 17 from Latrell Wrightsell off the bench. I was really impressed with Alabama's bigs in this one as well as their guards. Zuby Ejiofor obviously still got his 27 points. 10 rebounds for St. John's, but just really not having a point guard definitely hurt the Red Storm. You kind of need a traditional point guard, something they really don't have on their roster, so we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, Alabama, really impressive win by them. Then the other big game on Saturday, Michigan State, 69-66 win over Arkansas. I didn't think Michigan State had enough guys to kind of compete with Arkansas, and then that's when Cam Ward just comes out of nowhere off the bench, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Really good game for him. Izzo likes to kind of go with his older guys, start his more experienced players, and that's when then some of these guys like Cam Ward can come just kind of unnoticed. Jackson Kohler still had a good game, 10 points, 7 rebounds for him. Cohen Carr, the really explosive now sophomore, 15 points, 7 rebounds as well. So they had their guys on the Arkansas side. Darius Acuff with 16 points, 6 assists. Malik Thomas had 16 off the bench, 6 rebounds. So this was one of those games. This is just a very typical Michigan State game. This is why they were favored and ended up winning. Like you said, they got their experienced guys, but also just have their guys who can come off the bench out of nowhere. And then the big result on Sunday, Indiana knocks off Marquette 100-77. I had the Hoosiers winning this one. This is another one. I did not see it being this big of a ball, and they really just kind of dominated them. Lamar Wilkerson shot the ball extremely well, 23 points on 8 of 19 shooting, as well as 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. And then Tucker DeVries, 27 points on 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. Those two guys, like I said in the kind of preview, if they can fill the bucket from 3 points, really be stroking it like they were on Saturday, or on Sunday, my apologies, Indiana's going to be very good this year. On the Marquette side, 19 points from Chase Ross. Like I said, it was just kind of who around him can kind of contribute. Caden Hamilton, Ben Gold both had 10. Royce Parham had 11 off the bench. But I don't know. This just kind of showed for me, like I said, Marquette could potentially be a tournament team in the Big East, but I just don't think they have what it takes to hang with the big dogs. Indiana, if they're shooting the ball like this, they're going to be a real force in the Big Ten. Alrighty, so the first game we'll start with on Tuesday, the big rivalry game. Number 9 Kentucky heads to number 12 Louisville at 8 Eastern Time on ESPN. This is one of the fiercest rivalries in all of college basketball. And granted, the last couple of years, it hasn't been very competitive. Kentucky's been the better team of these two programs. But now in this new kind of era for both of them, Mark Pope now at Kentucky, Pat Kelsey at Louisville, things are a lot more even, and as you can even see, Louisville's a 6.5-point favorite in this one. They're projected to win according to ESPN Analytics. This is probably the most hype this game has had in a while, at least competitive-wise. I mean, both these fan bases hate each other. The players don't like each other. There's always a lot of chirping pregame. I mean, postgame. Heck, you even see it in like the TBT tournament with the alumni guys. So I'm excited for this one. The thing to really watch, I think it's going to be the guard battle. That's going to be really impressive. Michael Brown Jr. for Louisville, the freshman, could be a lottery pick, plus him and, Ryan Conwell, the transfer from Xavier, going up against Colin Chandler. You can see the leading scorer there for Kentucky, as well as Otega Owe, who's one of the better guards in the country. So it's really going to be a battle of who can kind of win that backcourt battle, who can play better. I mean, both these teams can score the ball, as you're seeing Louisville score over 100 points in both their first two games, granted, against South Carolina State and Jackson State. And then Kentucky as well, 107 points in their last game against Valpo. So I think this will be a really, up-tempo, fast-paced game, a lot of scoring, a lot of, ball movement. Both the projections I'm seeing here have it being, a 1-point game, 1 or 2-point game. Haslametrics got Kentucky winning by 2. Warren Nolan's got Louisville winning by 1. I think Kentucky will definitely cover that spread. The 6.5 seems a little high, but I do, just with the home court advantage, like Louisville to take this one, so give me the Cardinals. The next big game on Tuesday, this one also on campus. Number 11, Texas Tech Red Raiders head to the number 14 Illinois Fighting Illini. It'll be at 8:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1, so tipping off 30 minutes after that Louisville game. Texas Tech, they're looking really deep, really dangerous. I mean, Christian Anderson, you can see there he's averaging 26 points per game, had a really big game in their opener against Lindenwood, and then JT Toppin made his debut. Scored 30-plus in that one as well on Friday against Sam Houston. So those two guys going to be really, really big for Texas Tech. On the Illinois side, they got Timaz Izlosevic, and as well as then, Killian Boswell, you're seeing there, their leader. He's been there for a couple of years. This is one of those games. I mean, if you told me these two teams were playing in an Elite Eight or a Final Four game in a couple of months, it really would not surprise me. I think they're both, set up well to be deep tournament teams. Both are really deep as well. There's multiple scoring options on each side. Another guy that I want to... then Andrei Stojakovic, who's been coming off the bench more for Illinois. So on a former NBA player, Paige Stojakovic, he can really fill the basket. So there's a lot of guys who can score on either side, as we're seeing here once again. Illinois scored 113 points in both their first two games. Texas Tech scored 98. I'm going to go with Illinois to win this one just because it's at home. Both the projections I'm seeing have Illinois winning it. I mean, you're seeing 3.5-point spread. It should be a close game. It did open at 6.5, so it's definitely kind of been bet down in Texas Tech's favor. But yeah, I like the Fighting Illini to take this one. Should be another really entertaining game. The third one here on Tuesday, and this is one's after Louisville, Kentucky on ESPN. So ESPN with a banger Tuesday doubleheader. We got 23 Creighton and number 19 Gonzaga. Both these teams undefeated so far. Gonzaga is actually a double-digit favorite in this one, which is kind of crazy. As you can see there, their leader, Graham Ike, had a big game against Oklahoma in their win on Saturday. So they've already played a power conference opponent. Granted, I don't think Oklahoma's on the level of either of these two teams. So he's looked really good. Tyon Grant Foster's played well. It's been big that he got cleared to play for Gonzaga. I feel like I've mentioned him a couple times now. And then Braden Huff's also had a pretty good start to the season for Gonzaga. On the Creighton side, Owen Freeman's their leader. They also got guys like Jackson McAndrew. Granted, he hasn't really played as well as they've been hoping, hasn't been shooting the ball as well as Creighton's been hoping here to start the year. Granted, they won against South Dakota pretty easily. It wasn't too tough of a game, but I don't know. This is just a whole different test now here coming into the kennel, going to Gonzaga, and both the projections have Gonzaga winning this one by about 7-8 points. Like I said, the 11.5 seems a little steep, but I don't know. Going to Spokane, that's not a tough place to play. Maybe it does get kind of out of hand late, but I'm going to go with the Bulldogs to take that one. Another big one here on Tuesday. This one's before the Illinois-Texas Tech game. This one is not an on-campus game. It's at the Little Caesars Arena in Michigan, but Wake Forest takes on Michigan at 6:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. These two teams, they played last year. I believe Wake Forest won. It was like in Greensboro, so they're kind of doing a home and home where it's like on neutral courts. I forget. There's some sort of connection in this one too, with like a coach and why these two teams are playing each other. I think, just kind of going quickly this one, Michigan, they should be the better team. I mean, they're my pick, not my pick to win the Big Ten, but my pick to give Purdue kind of the toughest test in the Big Ten. Led by, guys like Namari Burnett, Elliot Cadeau, Morez Johnson Jr. You can see there their leading scorers scoring 24 points per game. I just don't really think Wake Forest has anyone that can kind of slow Michigan down. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Wolverines in that one. Just kind of looking at, like, Tuesday here is by far the best slate of the year, I think, no question. Another game that I was going to talk about a little bit, Dayton-Cincinnati, kind of an across-town Ohio shootout. That should be a good one. That was projected to be pretty close. Cincinnati's projected to win that one by 4. That one's at 7 Eastern on ESPN+. Looking at Davidson and Charlotte's like a good, like, sickos, same thing, in-state mid-major game. Looking at it, Florida, the defending national champs, they host their in-state rivals in Florida State at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Duke heads to Army here, where Coach Mike Krzyzewski coached at before heading to Duke. Right now, obviously not with Duke anymore, but that's kind of why they're playing that game, so that should be a good one. Memphis and Ole Miss at 9 Eastern on SEC Network. So SEC Network even has a pretty solid doubleheader. Memphis, picked up a close win in their opener against San Francisco. I mean, Ole Miss should win that game. As you can see, they're projected to win by 7, but I don't know, maybe Memphis can make it close. We'll see. Another really kind of like sickos one in-state, or in-city even, LaSalle and Temple, as you can see there, 2-point projected difference in that one in a Philly Big Six campus game. So those ones are kind of the ones to watch. And if you're looking for someone to kind of watch these college basketball games with, talk you through them a little bit, I'm live every Tuesday, or at least I'm trying to be every Tuesday, on my Twitch channel, watching college basketball games. Granted, I should probably just start streaming it to YouTube as well. So yeah, if you need someone to kind of walk you through these games, watch with, talk ball with while you're watching on Tuesday night, because I got 3 screens. I'll be having all these games going, so maybe you only got one, but then pull me up on your phone, your laptop, something like that, so I can kind of keep the tabs on them. Definitely make sure to tune in. The link to that channel is down in my bio. Then moving on to Wednesday. Not as packed of a slate. Not as packed of a slate, obviously, by any means on Wednesday. But the one to really watch, St. Joe's at Vatech. St. Joe's is going to be one of those teams that could potentially play some spoiler, be up there to compete in the A10. But the talk of the country, Nikos Avdalis for Vatech, went off in their win against Providence on Saturday, and Mohegan Sun. Like I said, I picked Providence to win that one just because I didn't think that anyone for Vatech would kind of be able to slow Providence down, especially kind of being a home game. And boy, was I wrong. 33 points from Avdalis in this one. He almost, and again, this may be just kind of a lazy conversation because it's just like bigger, European guard. He was playing like Luka. He was scoring it from all over, really just kind of getting his shots, getting his buckets at will. So definitely check this kid out. A lot of fun to watch. He definitely was kind of swooping the nation here, at least on college basketball Twitter. So these two teams now go at it in Virginia Tech at 7 Eastern on Tuesday. On the St. Joe's side, they're led by returning guards Derek Simpson, and then as well as you can see their leading scorer. Why is he not on here, bro? Oh, Deuce Jones. I'm sorry, I missed him. Deuce Jones, the second transfer from in-city LaSalle to then go, and he was getting offered by some pretty big names programs. He's going to be the leader for St. Joe's, scoring 15 points per game right now. Looking at the projections, Hazelmetrics has this about a 6-point Virginia Tech win, where Warren Nolan thinks this is going to be a close one. So I would definitely tune in, like I said, just to check out Avdalis. Really a lot of fun player to watch. As you're kind of looking at the stats, there's Vatech scoring at a lot higher clip. So because of that, I am probably going to go with the Hokies to take this one. So that's probably my game to watch here on Wednesday. Then other notable games, the only like power conference game, we have Minnesota at Missouri. Both these teams kind of middle of the pack in their league, so maybe you won't hear a lot from them come March, but anytime there's a power conference game like this early in the season, especially on campus, I would definitely check that out. The projections in this one both have Missouri winning by about 6 to 7 points. So yeah, I would probably also like the Tigers just for that being at home. Then we move on to Thursday, and Thursday is where we get the real big game. This one is like to the level of this Tuesday slate. Purdue, number 2 Purdue, and number 8 Alabama. Two teams that you're going to be hearing a lot about come March. Alabama already played a big game on Saturday, taking down St. John's. I talked about that one in the last video. 103-96 in the Garden. LeBaron Philon had a really good game in that one. As you can see, he's still our leading scorer, 23.5 points per game. As well as Aiden Holloway really impressed me as well. On the Purdue side, you got Fletcher Loyer, you got Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman, and guys I've been talking about all in my preseason picks, previews, video, stuff like that. So yeah, this one's 7 Eastern on ESPN2 on Thursday. Looking at the projections, both of them have Alabama winning, but like in a 1 to 2 possession game, so it's going to be really close. I mean, Alabama, as you can see, they were scoring 97 a game. Granted, I mean, it's more kind of St. John's that likes to play fast, so I don't think this one will be as fast. I mean, that one was just wild if you watched on Saturday, just back and forth, the trading buckets between those two. But I mean, Purdue can get up and down the floor. They like to score as well. Just because this one is in Alabama, that's the main reason why I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide. Plus, I've just already seen them against a national champion, I don't know if St. John's national champion contender, but, one of the better teams in the country. So, while Purdue hasn't been tested like that yet, and I mean, Alabama, I got to shout them out. They always do a great job of the schedule. They play Illinois at the United Center in Chicago next week. So, like, they're just like about once a week, if not twice a week, playing these, high-level power conference, non-conference games. So, give me the Crimson Tide in this one. Then just kind of quickly going through some other games to watch here on Tuesday and Wednesday. North Texas and Oregon State, as you can see there on ESPN+. That's projected to be a close one. I mean, literally like a point difference. North Texas went into Illinois, took down Loyola Chicago on a buzzer beater. They were up big in that one. Loyola Chicago came back, made that one close. Kind of looking at some more really like sicko games. UT Martin and Bradley. Granted, Bradley is projected to win big, but they're supposed to be one of the better teams in the Missouri Valley this year. And UT Martin's a fun story. Like, they play a very fast-paced, like, score the ball type of basketball. So that's definitely be one I am tuned into on Wednesday. And even South Dakota State and Oregon should be good. Granted, Oregon is projected to win by 12, but I don't know. They've struggled in some of their games. They barely beat Hawaii. South Dakota State, they're one of the better teams in the Summit League usually. So, and I believe, no, I think that one is just at Oregon. So yeah, that could even be a good one to tune into. On Thursday, definitely like a slow slate. As you can see, there are only 16 games. With Purdue, Alabama, taking the way. Pitt, West Virginia is another good one. I mean, these two teams, same thing, not really going to be competing towards their top of their conference, kind of just middling in the middle. But anytime you get an old Big East game, a backyard brawl, rivalry like that, I like that, a lot of these rivalries are happening this week. That should be a good one to tune into at 6 Eastern on FS1. California, K-State could be good. K-State's got some guys like P.J. Haggerty. And then Loyola Chicago, I've kind of already talked about. They play Wichita State, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN+. The Shockers, one of the better teams in the American. Granted, Memphis, North Texas, already going to be there. But, Wichita State could play some spoiler. They've gone on March runs before. I mean, this is actually a former... I don't know if these two teams were ever in the Missouri Valley at the same time. I believe they were. So, former Missouri Valley contest there. That could be another one if you're kind of looking for a more deep down game to watch. So, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said last week's video, if like doing some sort of pick'em pool is something you guys would be interested in, make sure to comment, let me know. I can get something like that set up. Also, if there's like certain stats or certain like things you want me to preview, maybe like a different lens or angle to take with some of these games, also please let me know. I'm really kind of trying to figure out here my lane in college basketball content. Like I said, I'm trying to be consistent where I do it all season. Also, make sure to follow me on other platforms like Twitter, TikTok, even Instagram. Like, I do a lot of content over like TikTok. I've been trying to recap what's going on in college basketball close to daily, or at least like 4 to 5 times a week, Twitter, I'm always tweeting out my takes. I'm trying to figure out what else more I want to kind of do over there. And then obviously, I'm doing these videos here on YouTube, as well as Tuesday night. You can watch all these games with me here live on Twitch. I do that every Tuesday. Did it really well during the conference slate last year, so I want to kind of try to do that during these bigger non-conference slates as well. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel. Please comment. I really want to hear your guys' suggestions. I know it seems like only my dad and my girlfriend are my biggest audience, but if anyone else is watching, I'd love to hear from you guys. So thanks for checking it out, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.